I've got a friend, Justin Brierley, who just wrote a book called The Surprising Rebirth of Belief in God, Why New Atheism Grew Old and Secular Thinkers Are Considering Christianity Again, or something like that. And it's very hopeful, but I think a bit too optimistic, because the case studies it points to are the people that I've just mentioned, people like this. Tom Holland, the historian who, well, as I write in this article, Tom Holland, not the actor, but in a sense an actor, because he sort of likes to pretend that Christianity is true, even though it's not. The interesting thing about these guys is that they won't say that it's true. They're unwilling to say that it's true, and they call themselves cultural Christians. Richard Dawkins, archetypal atheist, also, I mean, recently called himself a cultural Christian. He's been doing it for years, but it got a lot of attention recently when he did it on LBC. And it's kind of interesting, so you're going to spend your entire career just lambasting this religious tradition and undercutting the truth value of it, and then getting depressed when the cathedrals are empty and being turned into mosques, which is what's happening in England. Like, you may have sort of shot yourself in the foot a little bit there, but there's nothing inconsistent, strictly speaking, with saying that you like going to evensong, but you don't think any of it's true. So what we're seeing is an emergence of people who are more sympathetic to the Christian ideal, or what they perceive as the Christian ideal, which is a whole nother can of worms, but without actually believing in the truth of it. I mean, most believing Christians will say, if you do not believe historically that a man called Jesus died on a cross and rose from the dead, then your faith is futile and you're still in your sins, as St. Paul put it to the Corinthians, famously. So these people sort of can't be counted among a Christian revival, but I think Christians have a lot to celebrate, that at least now the culture is shifting from a sort of new atheism, Christianity is evil and terrible and wrong, to, yeah, it might be wrong, we'll sort of brush that bit under the carpet, but try to display the virtuous ethics of Christianity. Although in my case, they're not actually advocating for a Christian ethic, they're advocating for a sort of right-wing traditional conservatism, which is not the same thing.
Just to tie a bow on your previous analogy, when you talk about tree and when you talk about fruit, what are you referring to?
The tree is the belief in God, the sort of Christian religion, as it were, and the fruit is the fruit of that belief. So if you're to be a good Christian, you believe that Jesus rose from the dead, and because of that, you believe in a sort of radical philosophy of forgiveness and compassion and charity and asceticism, and you live that life out to the best that you can, in the knowledge that there will be inevitable failure that you can then apologize for. So a lot of people will say, I'm a Christian, but they do none of that. They don't go to church, they don't pray, they don't act like a Christian, they don't show any charity or compassion to their brother or sister.
So what do they do?
Or whatever else.